Doing YouTube videos for a living is literally a dream job. More kids in the United States wish that they could make their living by making videos on TikTok or YouTube or Instagram than would prefer to be astronauts. So when people do make it big, it's always quite remarkable how badly they screw it up. And Brad Taste is one of these people. I think it has something to do with getting success in life without actually having to suffer for it. When you're just kind of launched into a field where you make a lot of money, a lot more money than most people, but you're not really doing anything, and you're also still really young, you just kind of inevitably fuck it up, especially when you're like a waster who's stoned 24/7. But who knows? When you do music reviews, maybe that kind of a thing is a boon to your videos rather than a detriment. This video is a collection of my takes, contemporaneous, taken as soon as the news came in, when Brad Taste was checked into a mental asylum, basically, over smoking weed, and following that to the complete and total destruction of his entire life. Please enjoy.
Okay, so a music reviewer named Brad Taste decided that was invited to an event that Ethan Klein was at, and took some pictures with them because he was invited backstage to meet Ethan. And he posted these images on social media, and he's like, "Hey, look, I'm hanging out with the H3H3 podcast guys." After being made aware that that was not okay, came out and said, "This image made a statement that I did not intend to make, and I'd like to apologize for people who were hurt or upset by this. I'd also like to apologize for my quick response, as it was dismissive towards people who care about me and others deeply. I appreciate you for looking out for me." He continues, I think this is maybe a different mark. It says, "I'm aware that being around Ethan and Gila at the moment is very questionable. I wanted to meet them despite people's valid criticisms of them. I'm aware this is a bad look, and posting a photo with them may upset many people. Not the best decision on my part. Nick DiOrio called him a spineless little rodent, which I approve of. He also says that you are a slave to your audience, which I also approve of. He needs to go on an unhinged rant and call this guy cattle that he intends to eat. I think that me and Oreo, if we barbecued Brad, we could probably eat him in one sitting together. I bet you. I feel like I have an insidious influence on Nick DiOrio. I don't know if this is just my brain, but I feel like Nick DiOrio has made some changes. Every time I see a new image of Nick DiOrio on Zitter or something, I like him a little bit more. And I feel like I'm taking credit for that. I'm going to get him to say that this guy is edible, that we can eat him. I feel like that's in the cards. H3 actually saw this apology and commented, said, "This is Brad. Someone on crew was kind enough to get him VIP tickets, and he was able to come backstage and hang out with us. I had the chance to speak with him for a little bit and thought he was a nice guy. Here he is apologizing for taking a photograph with me. Because I am a Zionist." What does that even mean? To those that use that as a... Oh my God, bro. This guy had a fucking stroke right in that. To those that use the word as an insult, it simply means anyone that believes Israel has a right to continue to exist. According to recent polling, this would include 90% of the world's Jewish population. That means that Brad would need to apologize for taking a photograph with 9 out of 10 Jews. I mean, I would. And then some guy tried to hassle him into not talking to Nick DiOrio. And so on. Now, I don't know. Maybe the Kleins are good people, chat. Maybe they're good people. There's not been anything that they've done that would indicate they're not good people, chat. All right. This is Brad Taste, which is a guy that I've talked about a couple times because he's having an issue. Basically, he platformed this guy called Rose Mullet or Mullet. Rose is like a deranged, rapist that has openly talked about wants to rape. Has like a fascination with rape. And Brad Taste, from what I understand, is a guy who came out during like the Me Too stuff and was like, listen here, sweaties, if any women want to talk about the trauma they've experienced in the music industry, my channel is a safe space. I want to give voices to voiceless women who have been diddled. Please come to my channel. Please sit next to me. I want to hear your stories. And then he like randomly decides, yeah, I'm going to lay down my fucking life for this gross ogre. And everyone's like, isn't that like against your pro women, anti-rape, trust women, believe women politics? And he like fought with them for weeks. Like, no, I'm not going to backtrack. I'm not going to disavow my friend. You guys are just being transphobic. I'm trying to give them a chance. They've changed, yada yada. And then eventually he backtracks it all the way to an apology where he says, actually, hamster, get out of here. I'm going to phase you out of existence. Ready? Oh, sorry, I couldn't transition. I couldn't transition that frame. Okay, Oh, look, chat. It's loading. I have 1/100th of this post. 1/100th of this entire image. It's so precious. Oh, there we go. It just loads instantly as soon as I click it twice. I am sorry for platforming Rose Mullet. I'm going to say mullet because it's funnier. I really wanted to believe this person could change. I saw my own mental disability in this person, but they have said some of the most awful and evil stuff I have ever heard and seen. There is no room to be promoting someone like that here. He knew about all this shit beforehand and still tried to white knight this girl whose last name was Mullet. By the way, oh my god. So my head is full of cysts, and sometimes I say a word that takes me back to a funny thing, and then like butter dog, it just pops, and then I'm saying dog with the butter on butter dog. The word mullet, I'm being taken, brain blast, a cyst has popped in my head. Niceville, Florida is where I am from. It did not always have the name Niceville, as you could imagine, because it's a dumbass fucking name. It used to be called a much cooler name. It used to be called Boggy Bayou, Florida, which is just a very cool name. But there is and by the way, there was a guy in The Walking Dead who wore a Boggy Bayou t-shirt, and oh my god, I lived there. He has a t-shirt of the place that I lived at. But he has a Boggy Bayou t-shirt because Niceville had the world famous country festival called the Boggy Bayou Mullet Festival. I have always, when I was a kid, I always just assumed it was the hairstyle of the mullet. However, there is a native fish endemic to Niceville and its surrounding areas called the mullet, which is a bottom-feeding mudfish. Like, like something you can noodle, I'm pretty sure, that only rednecks would ever seek out and eat deliberately. But everyone during the Boggy Bayou Mullet Festival rounds up as much mullet as they can possibly catch and deep fries those fuckers and eats them to some country music in the football field of my high school, actually, now that I think about it. But yeah, that's an old memory. That's something I haven't thought about in 15 years. Anyways, I did not know about the sexual assault stuff. I had assumed it was a big pile of stuff I ignored about this person the first time I forgave them. By the way, I just want to go back here. I forgot this. I saw my own mental disability in this person. Sir, okay, you can't just say that and not explain. What exactly did you relate to in the gross ogre race? Like, you guys were simpatico in what way? Are you a racist? Are you retarded? Like, what exactly what sympathy do you share with this person? Explain this to me. So I did not know about it, but I just assumed it was in this big pile of shit I ignored. Okay, so you did know about it, you just ignored it. Okay, that's a contradiction in two sentences. Literally, sentence A, sentence B, contradiction in both. Gotcha. Deep down, I didn't want to believe what I was being told. I thought maybe if I promoted something productive they would change. That's also a contradiction. Contradiction A is line A, I didn't know. Line B, I did know, but I ignored it. Line C, I did know, I didn't ignore it, but I was trying to change them. Those are three totally contradicting concepts in one paragraph. That's actually very impressive. Once I was made aware of everything she has done, once I was aware that she was a gross ogre, I should have immediately taken down the post and made it clear how I feel about her actions. I instead attacked people who were trying to help me and misrepresented my views disastrously. Sorry to my community for being grossly negligent and self-destructive. Sorry to my audience who got dragged into this. I know this has reflected poorly on me and the people around me. Yeah, that's true. There's a guy, I made fun of him. His name is Brad Taste. He was chimping out there. He was actively defending some weird sex pest for no fucking reason. He was the guy that was like, hey guys, my channel is a super safe place for women and FA survivors, and if you disagree with that, then get the heck out. Just get the heck out. And then he defended this weird until the backlash was so enormous that he could no longer survive it. He booted the out, said, sorry, I didn't mean to defend a rapist like that. And then I made the bold prediction. That Brad Taste would out. And after he took a little break, he came back and posted a celebratory selfie. And chat, Brad Taste sisters, it's not looking so good. I think that we're tiptoeing closer and closer to the inevitable with this guy. He just has all the hallmarks, got all the symptoms. I think it's over for him. I think that the pipeline is already chugging along. He's on that choo-choo train from Panama City to Happy Goose Valley. Okay, you know what I'm saying? It's over. Okay, this is me making fun of Brad Taste. As I said, I have no idea who he is, but people keep posting updates about him in the community happenings thread. So I'm just going to continue to make fun of him. I think I can view this. Paruko, who's one of his Jannies, says that Brad stifled him out of money. So you can see the PayPal balance here is negative $411. Whoa, buddy. Getting awfully cold where Paruko was from because Brad Taste doesn't want to pay his fucking Jannie. Oh, it doesn't exist anymore. The Kiwi Farms noticed it, so it doesn't exist. Oopsie daisies. Okay, let's look at some fucking fire hydrants, chat. Ooh, bicycles this time. Wow, I love clicking bicycles in third world shithole countries. Well, there is no reply to this. I wasted my time. Shame. However, I don't have to take his word for it because Bradley decided to respond. Let's take a listen.
Hi guys, this is Bradley here. I needed to make this message. I am going through a lot emotionally right now, but I need you to understand that I am being accused of a lot right now. And I'm going through a lot, and this is very serious. And this person who is supposed to be my friend has publicly accused me of theft on a platform, and I believe they are trying to hurt me, and I am not okay. And I've been spending literally any moment I could all day trying to figure out this financial thing with them. Literally, from the moment that I knew it was serious, I was getting calls, my fiance was getting calls, and we were answering them and picking up, and I was like, okay, something is serious, something is wrong. Okay, this charge, deal with this. Okay, 151, got it. Oh, I gotta deal with other stuff. I'm busy. Paruko, I need you to be patient with me, please. I'm busy all day. I come back and it's I literally am struggling, and Paruko's fuck you. Look at the PayPal statements, you fucking lie. Like, I'm confused. And then I see this shit on Twitter, and I look at the picture. Oh, it says refunded under the bottom one, so I didn't even get to that one yet. And instead, now 500,000 people have seen something that is a complete fucking lie. I'm sorry.
From a friend.
From a friend. From a.
Oof, Matt, cringe. He's with his wife and he's having this emotional breakdown, and she doesn't say like, "Hey, Brad, you're embarrassing us by acting like a huge on camera." That's kind of cringe. Maybe it was her idea. Hey, if you cry on camera, you'll look better. Imagine getting felted by a fucking cringe. Do you think he hates yet? I don't think so. I don't think people like this are capable of learning. He hasn't gotten to the point. He'll never get to the point where he's like, just never gets to there. He's just like, oh, well, I'm such a good person. Why don't they understand me? Why don't they sympathize for me? When it's only 400 Canadian dollars. How many Arby's roast beef sandwiches is that? Like 5? Just go pick up fucking cans on the side of the road by the highway for like an hour. You'll have enough money to buy, just to sell aluminum for 400 Canadian dollars. Ain't that fucking much? Arby's used to be 5 for $5. Ain't now. Cost of living crisis. Now you got to get 411. That needs 411 Canadian dollars so that he can afford his 5 roast beef sandwiches. Brad Taste is a music review channel or something. I don't know what he does, but he's kind of popular, semi-popular. How much he got? 364,000. That's pretty good. That's like a upper mid-sized channel. And he did a thing where he was trying to collaborate, because I think his whole thing was that I fight sex abuse in the industry, in the music industry, and I want to give women a platform to talk about their abuse. And then he partnered with this, and this had been accused of like bad stuff. So people got really angry at him and said, why the fuck are you with this when you're supposed to be like a pro-women type of guy? This like sex freak. And he just stood by until his community the backlash was so much he couldn't, and then he had like a mental break. So now he's back home. I think he like literally put himself to a mental hospital, and now he's like manic as fuck. So let's see what this 1.5 minute long video is.
What's up,
dude? I'm sorry. I know I keep invoking his name, but he looks like Bossman Jack. I'm just gonna say it. That's my first takeaway.
Hey guys, it's Bradley here. I'm home, and I actually have some great news for you. Oh, which is really nice to be saying. After discussing it with my family and with some experts in the medical field, I've decided that I am going to be doing a little bit of content online, and I'd like to discuss that with you, what that's going to be, because it is going to feel a lot different. All right. Streams. You guys ready? This is the best news of all. You will not have to pay a single cent anymore for any entertainment. That's right. Now hear me out. You may be like, Bradley, you're crazy. What?
Is he trying to sound like Video Game Donkey? What is he doing? It's hard to say he's manic watching this because I don't know how he acts normally.
No money? How are you supposed to make money? That's the thing. It's not about the money. It's about the art. You see where I'm going here? Everything has become about the money. And what I'd like to do is take it back to basics. Back to when there was no money. All right? Back to when all we had was our creativity and a platform to share that. So, what I'm going to be doing...
Yeah, he's high. Yeah, that's like drugs talking. That's like weird. That's like a complete logical non sequitur weird shit.
Is any streaming? If you want to suggest, you want a song in there, be my guest. All right, we're going to be doing some community building, and it's going to be a beautiful thing. The best part and the best news is that's all I have for you. That's it.
Okay, cool. His girlfriend left him, by the way. That's why he's so happy, I guess. She had made a tweet saying, "Be right back, breaking my lease and moving to Detroit," indicating that they were leaving or she was leaving him. And then she said this tweet again, except this time it isn't a joke. She says, just got my key to my new place yesterday, and I'll be back with all my stuff next weekend. So I guess she also did content, and she is warning her followers. She's on lockdown that she's gone gonzo. She's broken up with them. I actually feel bad for her because the sub switched instantly and then started shitting on her hardcore. Legit threads accusing her of abusing Brad with zero evidence and asking about her job history. Very glad Brad's getting some help, but people probably need to give her some grace. We really have no idea about the relationship. Yeah, as soon as someone in this thread mentioned that she may be trying to help, but he doesn't want help, it clicked. The girl needs to get offline too to get away from the toxicity and start anew. I hope she keeps the dogs too. Sucks to be Brad Taste, I guess. What accent is that? Is it like a Chicago accent? It was a very distinct sounding accent to it, and I can't put my shut the fuck up about locales, bitch. Motherfucker, what the f*** did you just say? Shut the f*** up. I'm going to address some specific statements I've seen. Is this him? Anyone who doesn't think Brad is a lolcow must have a parasocial connection where they see themselves in him. I love how lolcow is now like this permeated word that normies use to describe people. Trying to tell me to... No one's forcing him to keep posting. It's his choices that led to his mockery. Literally no one is denying that Brad is making shitty choices. He literally has an addiction. Your choice seems to see that as an opportunity to spew bullshit instead of making any meaningful contributions. Doesn't make you a better person than him. It just makes you annoying. The only reason y'all are throwing the lolcow label at him is because he's a guy with an audience on the lowercase I internet and not just some dude. The thing is, though, he is just a dude, and being on the lowercase I internet doesn't change that, nor should it mean he deserves to be a spectacle for you no-lifers to the point to laugh at. This is not me bootlicking. I think Brad has serious issues, and I won't be supporting him until he shows genuine signs of growth if that day ever comes. But it doesn't change the fact that he's a human person who deserves the bare minimum of sympathy. Why don't y'all try to contribute meaningfully to the discussion instead of throwing around useless, lowercase I internet terms that only serve to turn mentally ill people into laughingstocks? Please, go pick up a football. Wow, what a sign-off. Go pick up a football. See that chat? You ever see somebody who's like a fucking nerd? Just take a football and boom, slam it in their fucking face. Pick it up, nerd. Make a man out of you yet. Good opinions. Great, all around. But no, I will not shut the fuck up about locales. Bish. Now this guy, I talked about once for the first time months ago, because he's Brad Taste in music. I mentioned him a couple times because every so often he puts out another, he has an update, and it's just he's continually declining. So at his peak, he put on this into his entourage and associated with this person that had a abuse history as being an abuser. He had cultivated a very progressive audience that cares a lot about that kind of stuff. So when the news came out, and he doubled down hard on this until it broke him, and he completely disavowed. And then his girlfriend broke up with him, and now he's I think he checked himself into a rehab facility because he was, or an asylum. he went into a voluntary psych hold because he felt he was going to kill himself. And now he's out. And he has a 3-minute long video put out about his state of being. And let's just listen to it, chat.
I appreciate any patience with this video, as I'm going to be speaking specifically in the sentence structure that I've learned in rehab in order to discuss with other people with issues. And I'm just going to use what I've been learning about my emotions to try to communicate a little bit better of what's at least been going on with me. When the internet and in large tells me, Bradley, get offline, what my brain perceives this as is an attack. And the way I feel about that is really sad and scared and uncertain, because I fear that I'm going to lose my job. So I start attacking the people trying to help me. When the internet makes fun of me for my addictions, specifically to weed, what my brain perceives this as is these idiots don't understand what the hell I'm going through. They think it's just weed. They don't know what I go through. And the way I feel about that is, once again, sad, scared, angry. I feel like I don't really get it. Like, I don't know why people are trying to say these things about me online, and that scares me. When the internet talks about my relationship, the way I perceive this is, I should have never shown this woman to the world. And the way I feel about that is horrified and sad and scared. But also at the same time lucky that people are taking her side right now. Thank God that people are not attacking this woman. At least like to like a really bad degree. Okay. When the internet tells me to get offline, the way I perceive this now is that I have 360,000 sponsors telling me to get the hell offline. All right.
This is a late observation to make as he rants about being told to quit the internet. But you know it's bad when like someone's watching your video and then the top suggestion is just Turkey Tom saying that you should that you deserve it. You're a bad person and you deserve it. That's YouTube's subtle hint that you suck.
And I appreciate you, because you're right. That is part of the problem. Posting this video, I'm going to post it. I'm not going to be looking at any comments. All right? And you're like, Bradley, how can I know that you're doing that? Because I've been doing it for 3 days. That's right. 3 days clean of that. I'm happy to say that.
I just realized this. A little something about this and that mannerism.
3 days. That's right. 3 days.
Dude, I can't decide if I've said this before, but maybe he's starting to look a lot like Bossman Jack. Maybe I have subconsciously latched on. My malignant demonic energy has latched onto this man, and the boss manification is happening. And we have Bossman Brad here, looking more and more like Austin every day. We have embedded ourselves into his psyche, and we are slowly injecting the gamba and the crackarooski crack rock, and soon we'll have our replacement. So everyone has just assumed that the rats are like a collective, but no, the rats are truly a demonic force. I have hopes for him. I have aspirations for him.
Clean of that. I'm happy to say that I'm also clean off of all substances that are like even prescribed ones that were like really screwing with me. Turns out that getting a prescription from your primary care doctor for Adderall and then abusing it once again to work 16 hours and then smoking weed afterwards is a really fucking bad idea.
Okay, buddy. 16 hours. Scroll back in time here. What's he doing? God, I love how these dates don't, like, you can't see. Because now all this shit is like... let's see. Worst albums 2023. Best albums 2023. I mean, I can imagine that these took a little while, because it's like... These are your big videos. And generally speaking, these best and worst of videos at the end of the year do really well. I think Jim Sterling said that his shittiest games of X year were always his most popular games. So I can imagine doing like... How do you hate MSI? His downfall is deserved. Stupid mother. Wait, hold up. I have a real reaction. I have a real reaction to this guy. You ready? This is my honest reaction to hearing that Brad Taste is having a downfall. You ready? Here's the best part, chat. Coming up. What do you mean it's bad? What do you mean it's bad, chat? It's perfect. It's topical. It's timely. It's relevant, and it's a good song. What more could you possibly ask from me? How could you say I'm not giving you what you asked for, chat? Angry tween shit. Exactly. It's good. You can't say you don't like that song and then defend a rapist till it ruins your career and you check yourself into an asylum. Okay, you don't get to. You get to pick one or the other. This guy at his asylum, they should just be playing "You stupid motherfucker, you stupid motherfucker," just over and over again until he figures it out, until it gets through his head. That's what I think, chat. That's what should happen to Brad. And I've talked about this guy for like 47 streams in a row, despite having very limited interest in him. And I made fun of him last stream for not liking mindless self-indulgence, and I played the song Stupid Motherfucker. Me doing this caused somebody to investigate the video where he does a review of his album, You'll Rebel to Anything, and found Brad's genuine, real reaction to the song Stupid Motherfucker. And we'll watch his reaction and his chat's reaction as he listens to it.
Actually, next song, Stupid Motherfucker. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. Alright then.
The visible, palpable discomfort. He hears the word retard. And then he is kind of stoic at that point right there. Hold up. But see, the first drops, and then the second drops, and that's where his head slips over, defeated. He was hoping maybe it's just the one time. But no. I think the guy's name that's like the lead singer for Mindless Self-Indulgence is literally Jimmy Urine, as in piss. So he got dumped on. He got pissed on by Jimmy Urine. The next sentence, there's no holding it back. This dam of pee-pee poo-poo will wash him out and embarrass him on YouTube. And his as it continues with the heckin' troublesome ableistic language, he just slumps, defeated. The only person in the history of mankind actually felted by MSI, by Jimmy Urine, in the flesh. And what's even funnier is his chat. Even as he's like griping about it, like, oh, I can't believe it. His chat. The first person anime avatar reacts by saying "Lamau." And then, hey, says, classy stuff. Mary Free Girl says it's the whole album, which I assume means that they're listening to the second song because it says the second song is stupid motherfucker. So they listened to the first song and it must have had some heckin' problematic language arena right there. So then Mary Free Girl says, "Oh my god, this entire album is going to be heckin' problematic." Stacy the Fox, a anime avatar for sure, says, "I don't know about this one." Connor just gives the straight up skull emojis because no cap for real. This is not bussin'. David Raphael says, "What the hell?" Genuinely shocked. Music with ableist language profanity. I didn't know that kind of thing still existed these days. We only have wet ass pussies these days. Idiotic Vegetal posts a emoticon of a fish, and I don't know what that means. I'm going to be real with you. I have no clue. His moderator, literally named Heifer, a actual heifer, walks into the scene and says, "Ugh, I hate this." Mary Free Girl says, "I didn't realize." I don't know what that means. AV says, "Learn to swim," and I assume that there's maybe some kind of fish meme in his channel where the song has to swim or something. I don't know. In fact, even I see that there's like a fish aquarium in the background, so I'm going to assume that he has some kind of fish motive going on with his streams. And that's what the fish means. Ken Shabby actually says the sentence. I want you to, I'm putting my fingers up to my mouth like I'm biting all my fingernails at once. Ready? And he says, "Not the R word," because he's just shocked. I can't believe it. And music, the R word. What if a person was listening to Mindless Self-Indulgence? But don't worry about it. I'm and I listen to Mindless Self-Indulgence, and I think that Jimmy Urine gets the R word passed. And then finally, the last message that I can see before this clip ends, Trav Dara says 0 out of 10. 0 out of 10 for heckin' offensive. It's actually not a 0. It's an O. O for offensive, chat. The worst that you could possibly get. And finally, one little itty-bitty update from Brad Taste. Brad Taste says it has come back from the void to say, "It's very upsetting to have people online overanalyzing every single thing I post or do to see if I am insane or not. It doesn't really help me. It just makes me more anxious. Between that and videos being made about how much of a failure I am, it just sucks." Telephone responds and says, "You should just make at this point." And Brad says it might be the only real solution left. So Brad Taste and coming to a YouTube near you. I assume that he's just going to start. He can do what May did before she hooked up with Ralph. She can do OnlyFans where she just reviews. Brad can do that. He can just do Brad Taste and do like reviews. I'm sure there's an audience for that somewhere. Didn't he? Not yet.
Okay, so this is Brad Taste in Music. Supposedly this guy lost his mind. I don't know his full lore. This is what I understand about him. He used to run a successful music channel. He was well liked. He did reviews of albums. He courted some minor controversy in regards to some of his takes, in regards to some of his music reviews. But for the most part, he did a pretty good job of doing what people wanted from him, and nothing else bad ever happened. Until at some point, he randomly decided to announce that he had a horrific weed addiction, and it was mentally taxing him, and he was not happy. And then at a certain point, he kept coming off and on and making increasingly like insane sounding videos. And then he was accused of domestic abuse towards his girlfriend. He had broken up with. And I remember one of his original I smoked the ganja herb, ruined my life videos was about how his girlfriend left him because he was so unmotivated that she didn't like him anymore, so she left. And it could have been even a thing where he went to inpatient weed rehab and then he relapsed, and that's when she left him. But that's the gist of that. And then he comes out and says, she came out and said that actually he was abusive towards her, and he confirmed that. So this is the summary of his video that I'll just read for you because it's making rounds.
Brad states he didn't and doesn't to this day have a problem with paying Tina $5,000 a month to sit around and smoke weed. He says he was arrested for domestic assault. It is unclear if he was actually charged with anything. This seems to prove that the Troon was not lying, because the Troon made a call-out video, because of course. The arrest was apparently about an hour after the I don't feel safe at home clip, meaning soon after the clip, he yells at Tina about crying about the H3 thing while he was streaming. He says that if he was going to cry, she should do it at her parents' house. I think he got canceled for literally standing next to H3 because H3 is a Jew and you can't be Jewish anymore. I don't know who Hive Mind is. Maybe that's the name of the train. Like, dude, this thing has exploded into such complexity. It used to be just that he had a weed addiction, and now it's like I have no idea what's going on. He moved back to his parents' house in Arizona. He stopped streaming. He watches movies all day. Constantly reflects with Tina and Hive Mind. Says he doesn't know if he wants to work because he doesn't want to. Suicide baiting. Stating he took unprescribed pills with vodka during this time. He keeps the vodka in his dresser. And he states, when things are getting good, his cousin was planning on going to Egypt and Switzerland and invited Brad. Brad says he enjoyed the experience and said he felt freer abroad because he didn't feel obligated to interact with people. I know that feeling. He then took a trip to Minnesota and stayed with a friend and hung out with a friend's friend while recording in the studio. He connects these people and says they start bonding. However, despite all this, he doesn't want to work. He no longer finds enjoyment in churning out slop for the channel he is known for. How hard is it to review music, bro? He should have reviewed that new Kanye album, Cousins. That was a banger. I reviewed that. I felt like my review of Cousins was pretty good. He's hanging out with his dad more. Okay. His dad said to him that his music wasn't good. Brad got offended by that. Did he make music, or was it just like his dad saying like you have shit taste in music, son? Son, I'm disappointed. You got that shit ass fucking taste. I don't know. Here, listen to some Pearl Jam, son. I think you would enjoy that. Weed makes you lazy. Crack makes you an excellent gambler. That's true. That's true. He looks... Can I just play a minute? I want you to hear this guy because he looks so gross. Come on now. I just said I optimized the Kiwi farms, and then you do this to me. What the fuck did I do to deserve this, Chad? I didn't do shit. I don't deserve this. What's wrong? Pearl Jam is great. They made Evolution, buddy.
And then it's like the stuff with my ex, and then like with Hive Mind, and how that's all connected. You know, I can't get it out of my head.
Did he just make a 28-minute long video crying about his life? Is that what's happening here?
It's like no matter what I do, that's like my ex leaving.
Who cares?
To go and like be a part of Hive Mind and Graydon's roommate, you know? Like,
who gives a shit?
Yeah. Well, I wasn't taking it so well. So,
get over it. Nobody cares. What a pussy. Oh, my girlfriend broke up with me and some guy. Who gives a shit? Get over it. You're like 40. What are you crying about? It's so pathetic. Who gives a shit, brother? Review the album. What's wrong with you? Oh yeah, I see this. I pointed out the Swans album before. His room hasn't changed in months. I pointed out the Swans album the last time he made a video crying about shit. The Swans album, by the way, is where that Lunacy song came from. All right, we'll check on Brad Taste and see if he's dead in like 5 months. So on Discord, it was announced by someone called Space Ashes that the ex-girlfriend of Brad Taste in Music, aka Brad Lehman, aka Brad Taste, aka Bradley, let me restart. His ex asked that these audio recordings be published. And so I have done my duty and I have published these things to the internet. Now, it's a very annoying kind of argument, very passive aggressive. I'll just skip to like the middle and like play a little bit of it so you get an idea of how annoying this conversation is.
I'm sure that it's happened.
You're so used to throwing white lies at me, you don't even recognize this one?
No, that's not true. I just don't.
There's so many white lies, Tina. It's like, if they're all white lies, then none of them are, right?
I don't. What am I lying to you about? I don't know what you're telling me I'm lying to you about. What's happening in my own brain? That's not fair. It's my own brain. You're not entitled to know that. I'm an individual. If I don't have a safe place within my own head...
Okay, Tina, I'm your partner of 5 years, and if you...
So that's the argument for 8 minutes. She's recording, so she kind of looks bad. Apparently, in case you're wondering, apparently she did take the recordings to the police, and they didn't do anything. So that's why she published them to the internet. The second recording is the follow-up to that conversation where it got really heated towards the end.
You are one of my abusers, so I can damn right do that to you. I can kick you out of here for what you've done to me. You've destroyed me.
What? How? All I've ever wanted to do is support
Stop lying to me for once. Look at me in the eyes and stop lying to me. Stop being such a wimp.
All I've ever
Look at me and accept what you have done to me. Do you see what I've become? You've killed me. You promised me everything. You lied to me.
What did I promise?
Oh, apparently they did get him for DV, someone says in chat.
Look at me, look at eyes and say that again. Look at me. Tell me.
Dude, he sounds like Two-Face in the Batman movie, where he's like, "Look at me," where he's like yelling at Batman, he's like, "Look at what you've done to me," and he just turns his head and you can see his face.
Tell me. Tell me what the future said. Tell me. Get out of my house. Get out of my house.
I promise you. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't.
You're trying to.
Don't.
You are evil. Like you're evil.
I
They cry. Bro, if you get beat around, it's really hard to like cry sympathetically, I guess. Yeah, see, Sneed, anime sex cope and Sneed knows. If you beat a woman around, they don't cry pretty, they cry like ugly. It's called ugly crying. Wait, the audio does not work anymore? Oh, it just cuts out there? Okay. So that was what got published, obviously. That did not appease too many people. Many people were upset. He lost, after the accusations first came out, he lost his sponsorships. He's been spiraling harder than ever. And I don't think anything... Oh, one of the moderators for his chat, or for his YouTube channel, actually posted a video on the main channel with just a link in the description to the accusations against him. A bunch of DMs got leaked where he was baiting. It's just so weird. It's like, I remember a couple years ago, he made that video where he did like a 26-minute long rant about how weed ruined his life. And now fast forward a couple years, and there's like DV audio of him published on the internet. He's having a really rough go of it. How hard is it to sit down and review music albums? Apparently very difficult. All right, this guy. Look at this miserable sack of shit. Look at this buck broken. Buck broke. He's buck broken, chat. I don't think he's recovering from this one. Brad Tace put out a video after he was completely and totally buck broken, just looking like a disheveled piece of shit. And he literally thanked Tina for ruining his entire life. Technically, he ruined his entire life, but she did publish it, which completed. What's the word? Squared that circle, looped, completed that loop. Multiple words for this chat.
Hi, I just want to make this video because this is over now. I have nothing else to say. I want to actually thank Tina for sharing the video. See, I'm really scared of her because she's smarter than me. When our relationship, like, I'm younger than her, and I never really had a strong foundation, like, at home. And when I went to go live with her, she thought very differently than I did on a lot of things. And a lot of the time, I would blame her for things that are not her fault. And I truly believe I didn't know any better. And that's what's so scary about it. I keep trying to fix stuff, but I'm just like not as aware of things as other people. And I get shit wrong, and I think I'm doing a good thing, and I end up really, really hurting someone.
After this quote, by the way, it's just like him for another minute and a half. I don't want to play it because it's just like he's so downtrodden. He's so buck broken. And then he immediately deleted this video. He just straight up deleted it. So if you want to know what happened to Brad Chase, first he smoked that dank ganja herb, and then he was accused of DV, and now he's like, he's felt it. Let's just be honest. And there's no better word for it.